Pay close attention to the woman in this video, because what happened after she left work that night still haunts Houston to this day. She walked to her red Mazda, turned the key, and vanished. No witnesses, no signs of struggle, just an abandoned car on the 610 loop. And the man who should have reported her missing didn't say a word. This isn't just a missing persons case, it's a story of secrets, suspicion, and a silence that's lasted over 30 years. This is The Obscured Truth. And today, we uncover the unsolved disappearance of Tara Breckenridge. Before the headlines. Before the missing posters. Before her name became part of Houston's list of unsolved disappearances. Tara Breckenridge was just 23 years old, a soft-spoken waitress with a warm smile and a quiet dream. She wanted out of the nightlife, and she was saving money to make that happen. Tara worked at the men's club, a high-end gentlemen's club in Houston, Texas. She wasn't a dancer. She served drinks, handled customers, and kept her head down. Coworkers say she was kind, thoughtful. She'd often stay late to help others clean. But underneath that politeness was fear. One coworker recalled, she didn't like being there. She said she felt watched, like someone was following her. Tara had been dating a man named Wayne Hecker, a former photographer and DJ, for several years. But lately, their relationship had started to unravel. Friends noticed bruises. She stopped talking about the future. And just weeks before she vanished, Tara quietly told a friend, "If anything happens to me, look at him first." But no one thought it would. Come to that. She had plans. She wanted to return to college. She was trying to leave her job, her relationship, everything behind. Then came August 3rd, 1992, and Tara was gone. August 3rd, 1992. It was a quiet Monday night in Houston. At the men's club, Tara was finishing her shift, nothing out of the ordinary. She was scheduled to leave at 1 a.m. sharp. A co-worker saw her smile, wave goodbye, and walk toward the back lot where her red Mazda Miata was parked. It was the last confirmed sighting of Tara Breckenridge. What happened next is a blank space, no witnesses, no surveillance footage, just silence. Hours passed. She never came home, and oddly, no one called it in. Not even her boyfriend, Wayne. It wasn't until 2 days later that someone reported Tara missing. And by then, any potential evidence had already started to vanish. But then, a breakthrough. Just hours after Tara left work, police discovered her Mazda Miata abandoned on the northbound shoulder of Houston's I-610 loop. The car was locked, keys gone, purse still inside, no signs of a struggle, and yet everything inside looked untouched, as if she had vanished mid-thought. The location made no sense. She didn't take that route home. She had no reason to be on that stretch of highway, and the engine was still warm when officers arrived. This wasn't a robbery, one officer later said. It looked staged, like someone parked it and walked away. Why would Tara leave her car locked and walk off into the dark? And if someone forced her, where were the fingerprints, the footprints, the witnesses? That's when suspicion began to grow, and people started asking questions. But what they found next changed everything. The Mazda sat alone on the shoulder of I-610 North, neatly parked, hazard lights off, no damage, no sign of panic. It was found around 3 a.m., just hours after Tara was last seen. But here's the first chilling detail. No one reported it right away. It was towed without suspicion, just another stalled vehicle in the night. 2 days later, when Tara was finally reported missing, police tracked down the car at the impound lot. That's when things got strange. Inside the vehicle, officers found Tara's purse on the passenger seat. Her wallet and credit cards were still there. Nothing was missing. No blood. No signs of forced entry. The driver's seat was adjusted, too far back for Tara's height. Her car was always clean, but this time, it looked freshly wiped down, no smudges, no usable prints, and one more thing, her work uniform was folded neatly in the back seat. That detail alone disturbed her family. Tara was tired after long shifts. She never folded clothes in her car. Someone had rearranged things. Someone wanted it to look normal. There were no skid marks, no tire tracks leaving the scene. It was as if the car appeared out of nowhere and just sat there, waiting to be found. It didn't feel like a kidnapping, one officer said. It felt orchestrated, and yet no security cameras, no eyewitnesses, no one stopped. Houston was quiet that night, too quiet. At this point, investigators began to focus on one critical question. Who had the motive and the opportunity to make Tara vanish so cleanly? And every clue, every inconsistency, kept pointing back to one person. From the very beginning, Wayne Hecker's name hovered over the case like a shadow. He was Tara's boyfriend, or more accurately, her long-term partner of over 5 years. At 34, Wayne was nearly a decade older. He worked as a part-time DJ and photographer. Those close to Tara described him as controlling. Others went further, saying he was possessive and unpredictable. According to friends, their relationship had become toxic. Tara had moved out once, then returned, unsure, afraid to be alone, unsure how to escape. Co-workers remembered bruises. Her demeanor had changed in the weeks before she disappeared. She was quieter, reserved. One friend said she'd stopped talking about the future altogether. And yet, Wayne never reported her missing. He claimed he thought she was just cooling off. But 2 full days passed, and not a single phone call to her job, her family, no check-ins. It wasn't until Tara's mother contacted police that the investigation even began. That raised flags. When police questioned Wayne, he seemed calm. Too calm. He cooperated, on the surface, but declined polygraph tests. He never joined the search efforts. He didn't speak to the media, and perhaps most haunting of all, he moved out of their apartment just days after her disappearance, and never returned. But there was more. Inside their shared home, investigators found a diary, Tara's. In it, she'd written, "I feel trapped. I'm afraid of what he might do if I leave." There was no confession, no direct evidence, but something didn't sit right. It was like trying to build a puzzle, one detective later said. Except the pieces we had, they all pointed toward him. Still, no arrest was made, no formal charges, just silence. And the man at the center of it all faded quietly into the background. But just when it seemed like the trail had gone cold, a call came in. From someone the police weren't expecting. After the anonymous tip, detectives returned to the case with renewed hope. But what they found deepened the mystery. Lead Detective Marcus Lee reviewed the file and realized critical evidence had been overlooked. The car wasn't dusted for prints until 5 days later, he later admitted. By then, any usable prints were gone. Surveillance, footage from nearby gas stations, erased officer logs, incomplete. Witness statements were scattered across notebooks. One said they saw a red blur at dawn, another claimed they heard a scream near the on-ramp, but none of it was ever followed up, and then budget cuts hit the precinct, resources vanished, case files sat in dusty drawers. "We were told to prioritize violent crimes," Lee explained. "Missing persons fell off the radar." Tara's family pressed for answers. They met closed doors, empty promises. Her mother, in tears, described the silence. They treated it like a cold file, just another number. Meanwhile, Wayne Hecker walked free, his alibi unchallenged. He refused further interviews. He faded into anonymity, just when it felt like hope was lost. Jones, a rookie detective, noticed something odd. A single fingerprint on the car's folded uniform. A print not matched to Tara or Wayne. But there's one more camera, he whispered, pointing to a broken traffic camera overlooking the scene. And that broken lens may have been the only thing capable of capturing what really happened, yet no one bothered to repair it. With leads vanishing in the silence, the search for Tara seemed over, until a new tip reopened the door to the truth. With official leads drying up, speculation took over. Crime of passion many believe Wayne Hecker snapped that night. His jealousy, control, and Tara's diaries hinted at a relationship on the brink. She warned me once. "If I leave, you'll regret it," a friend recalled, yet no solid proof tied him to the scene or the car. Client involvement. The men's club catered to Houston's elite. Could a wealthy patron have forced Tara into his car? Rumors swirled about blacked-out vehicles and hushed deals. One ex-employee whispered, some members had more power than the law. Human trafficking or exploitation. Houston's port city status made it a hub for trafficking. Tara's youth and job made her vulnerable. She was saving for college, her sister noted. Some believe she was trafficked across state lines. Random abduction. The broken traffic camera suggests someone watched the car close. A lone predator. No ties to Wayne, no ties to the club. He knew her schedule, said a neighbor who saw a strange car that night. Micro reviravolta, but then a letter arrived at the precinct. Written in Tara's handwriting. No. Smudged, dark ink, threatening tone. Don't. Look for me. It vanished before investigators could trace it. Each theory fits and fails. Pieces line up and shatter. In every hypothesis, a journalist wrote, the same question remains. Who wanted her silence? And as the possibilities multiply, so does the fear that the truth may be too dangerous to surface. Just when it seemed the case would never move, an unexpected clue emerged, forcing everyone to look again at the place it all began. It came late, over 2 weeks after Tara vanished. An anonymous caller phoned the Houston police tip line. The voice was male. Calm, he refused to give his name. I saw a girl on 610. She looked scared, he said. 2 men pushed her into a dark Lincoln. One had a red jacket. He mentioned a detail no one had released to the public, the exact location where Tara's car had been found. Detectives traced the call to a payphone outside a gas station. But the man was already gone. No cameras, no prints. It felt real, Detective Jones said, like someone who'd seen something, but was afraid to come forward. That tip reignited the case. Briefly, flyers went up again. Police questioned. Known associates with access to a Lincoln sedan. Nothing. The red-jacketed man? Never identified, and just like that, the silence returned. But the call left one thing clear. Someone out there knows what happened to Tara. As time passed, the search turned quiet again. But for those who knew her, the pain only grew deeper. Years passed. Tara's photo faded from flyers. The phone stopped ringing. Detectives transferred, retired. The case was filed under inactive. But her family never moved on. Her mother kept Tara's room untouched. The same posters, the same perfume bottle, still half full. I keep the light on, just in case she finds her way back, she once told a reporter. Birthdays came and went. Christmases passed without a word. The silence became louder than any scream, her sister said. Friends described how Tara's absence left a hole in their routines, empty chairs, unread letters, missed milestones. And Wayne? He disappeared from Houston. No statements, no updates, just silence. It's like she was erased, said one neighbor, and we let it happen. The weight of not knowing became its own kind of grief, not a clean break, but a wound that never closes. We weren't asking for justice anymore, her mother said, just the truth. And even as decades passed, one question remained. If Tara's still out there, does she know we're still looking? Tara Breckenridge never came home. Her name never made national headlines. There was no media storm, no televised manhunt, only questions. And quiet. But her story didn't vanish. It lives in local blogs, in police forums, in the voices of amateur sleuths who revisit the case each year, refusing to let it go cold. She wasn't famous, her childhood friend wrote, but she mattered, and someone took her away. Even now, new theories emerge. Was she taken by someone she trusted? Did she try to start over somewhere far from Houston? Or was she silenced because of something she knew? None of it brings peace. But the search continues, not just for answers, but for accountability. Because behind every headline is a human life, and behind every silence is someone who still hopes to be heard. If Tara is still out there, somewhere, this video is for her, and if she's not, then we owe her the truth and the dignity of never being forgotten. This was The Obscured Truth. Don't let Tara's story fade. Share this. Comment what you think happened, and remember, every silence hides a voice.